we're going to be comparing Sam Sulek to Coach Greg. Coach Greg, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing Sam Sulek to Coach Greg. Considering Sam is going for his IFBB Pro card, I'm going to be comparing him to when I turned pro back when I was 35, about 5 billion years ago. I've been training for about 25 years, and Sam had been training for less than 10. In our first comparison, we're going to be going over the front double bicep. And so remember, I'm a manlet. I'm only 5'6" tall, and in this photo, I'm weighing about 193 pounds, while Sam Sulek, he's 5'11", he's 5 inches taller, and he had to make a weight cap. His weight cap, it's 217 pounds. He weighed in at 216. Now, the weight cap for my height as a pro, it's 193. And so in this photo, I am in fact in the weight class. Sam Sulek, he's hindered by the weight cap as he is in fact an amateur. But if he is a professional, he can add 10 solid pounds of muscle. And so we're not actually comparing apples to apples, as Sam Sulek is 10 pounds below his weight limit. And so please take that into consideration. And so let's go from the ground up. Sam Sulek clearly has bigger calves. Sam's quads, although perhaps bigger than Coach Greg, he's not displaying them properly. Notice how I point my leg to the side, the toes pointing out, and I'm showing the width of my quads. And not only can you see the quads, you're seeing the hamstrings and that line going up the leg, the sartorius. And in classic physique, it's about looking aesthetic. This was literally my 50th competition. This is Sam's first. I posed so horrendously bad at my first competition, I'm not going to show how I looked at my first competition at 18. And in the waist, you can see I'm flexing my abs, and in comparison, Sam is sucking in his stomach. That is referred to as a vacuum pose. Now, some people prefer the vacuum pose, others prefer the abdominals. In this pose, you can see I'm sucking in my stomach. It makes it look a lot smaller. You can see the size difference from the upper body to the stomach. But for me, I actually prefer when the abs are flexed. I like looking at the abdominals. And from there, you can see we're looking for the V shape. We're looking for the lats to come out to the side from a smaller waist building up to the shoulders. Sam perhaps has bigger lats than I do from the front, as well as bigger biceps. But overall, if I'm going to have to pick who's winning this pose because I'm able to display it to my maximum capabilities, I have to give it to myself. Not to say that Sam can't add on 10 more pounds of muscle and beat me in this pose. Next up, the most muscular. If this were properly sized up, because Sam is so much bigger, I do believe he's beating me in this pose. A most muscular coming from a man who's 5'11" versus someone who's 5'6", he's simply going to outmuscle me. 193 pounds versus 216. Sam is going to be very impressive in this pose, and so far I have it 1 pose to 1. Next, rear double bicep. You may not know, but I actually had an amazing back in my day. It doesn't currently have the same level of development, but at my peak, this was one of my best poses. Starting from the rear in the bottom, Sam, likely the better poser in the calves. Mine are definitely smaller, but notice the definition of my hamstrings, my ability to not only display the hamstrings effectively, but to have very low body fat percentages. Sam's hamstrings, they're also shredded, but he lacks a little bit of the detail that I've had. Remember, I've been racing bikes for years, been training my entire life. Sam's glutes, they may in fact be leaner than mine, but notice how I'm wearing a smaller suit. Sam, I think if I were to give him some advice, I would say, Sam, you got to get a smaller suit. If you have strided glutes, you want to display that to the judges. Notice the Christmas tree on my back. It is in fact very well developed. Sam, in this pose, he has excellent definition, details, and striations. Better muscle development in his lower back. And when you see Sam pull back the Christmas tree, no one's competing with that. I'm not even close. Sam's Christmas tree, way better than Coach Greg. But as you work your way up the back, notice how I properly display the V. The waist appears to be small and it goes outwards towards the shoulders, displaying a prominent V. And if you're looking at the amount of detail, the bumps, the grooves, the crevices on my back in comparison comparison to Sam's, I simply have more. Sam perhaps has more muscle than me. He may have a bigger back than me, but what the judges want to see are the details, the finer points, culminating with myself, as I've always said, biceps higher than the delts. You can see it. Notice how Sam's biceps are slightly below the delt line. He's posing it more like that, a little bit too low. Coach Greg, on the other hand, he's holding it up. And so what that does is it makes a more prominent V. It gives the elusive X frame, and you can see the biceps appear to be even bigger. Although Sam's biceps are certainly bigger than mine, they don't appear to be because I'm properly posing my back. Not only that, when you pose the back, you want to bring the forearms to the rear. Tilt your arms backwards, it brings up the bicep, and it makes it look that much bigger. Notice the difference from here to there. Do you see the difference? And so because I'd done 50 bodybuilding competitions, I perfected my craft. I was posing to perfection. I have to give it to myself in this pose. Next up, the side chest. As you can see, my calves, perhaps they're not as large as Sam Sulek's, but they do have a lot of definition. My calves were known to be shredded. In my heyday, could not believe the striations that I had. And so my calves, they were peeled. And so what I did when I went to competition was I brought the definition. I knew I wasn't going to have the most size. I didn't have the largest frame to work with. But one thing that was in my control was how much definition I displayed. And so I didn't care what it took. If I had to reduce my calories, if I had to do hours and hours of cardio, if I had to invest in getting a proper tan, well, I made it happen. From the side, you can see I'm properly displaying my hamstrings. You can see glute striations. The quads are well formed. And so the judges, they can see everything. Sam Sulek, his legs are peeled. They're shredded, but he's not properly displaying his hamstrings to the fullest of his abilities. And so I do think it's going to take him a little bit more time to fully fill out that frame. From the side, I do believe that Sam has more definition. The obliques, they're etched in stone. He's peeled, he's shredded, and this is perhaps his best pose, perhaps it's his side tricep, and simply put, he's doing everything correctly. The smallness of the waist, the width of the shoulders, the look of the chest, everything is amazing. I do believe that if I were standing next to Sam, he would make me look small in comparison, and so on the side chest, I gotta give it to Sam. And so for this final comparison, to break the tie, we're gonna be comparing my favorite pose versus Sam Sulek's favorite pose, the twisting double back. And so Sam has an amazing back. He's doing a wonderful job. The thickness, the density, the details, everything properly displayed. However, his legs don't quite match up to his upper body. I do believe that he's stronger in the upper body than he is in the lower body. In comparison, when I'm analyzing my own physique, I don't feel that my upper body is better than my lower. The legs, the details, the posing, it's very well balanced with my upper body. Also, the waist very small in comparison to the shoulders, the details of the arms, the fullness, the details, the crispness of the muscles. If I'm judging effectively, I'm still going to say Coach Greg, turning pro, has a better physique than Sam Sulek. But imagine if Sam Sulek had a better physique than mine. Sam Sulek is competing in classic physique. I was literally competing in open bodybuilding. And so considering I got an IFBB pro card as an open class bodybuilder and Sam Sulek is in classic physique, you've got to assume that I would have beaten Sam in this competition. But remember, I'm 35. And so Sam has plenty of years to well surpass Coach Greg. Just for fun, let's look at Coach Greg natural before I took steroids in my early 30s, hitting a rear double bicep. I still had the hamstrings, the detail, the definition, it was amazing. And I had an actual small waist. Before I took performance enhancing drugs, my waist was actually smaller than after I took them. In this pose, I'm perhaps only 170 pounds, perhaps 25 pounds less muscle than when I was on performance enhancing drugs. But you can see it's not just about the size, it's all in the details. And you can see in this front double bicep pose, you can see the legs, they don't have quite the same definition as I had when I was enhanced. Full looking biceps, great abdominals, but I didn't have the size or the definition of Sam Sulek. Back to the most muscular, you can see a lot of chest definition. The arms are well formed. Quads are well displayed, but not lean enough. And on that side tricep chest pose, you can see I'm so jealous of this arm right now. Way better looking arm at the age of 30 than I have right now. Guys, it's not about the size. You don't need to take performance enhancing drugs. If you get a very lean physique that's aesthetic, you can appear much better and bigger than you actually are. Case in point, the side triceps. The lines on the side, you can see they were shredded. It makes for a very small waist, and would you believe I'm 156 pounds? 156, that's it. Now, if Sam were to stand next to me, he would dwarf me. I would seem minuscule, and he would clearly beat me. But this, 100% natural. And so remember, you can, in fact, build an amazing physique while being natural. And of course, if you're natural, you don't want to revoke your natty card, you can get the T-plug stack. Turk Max, it's straight from Uzbekistan. Have you seen this? Be the first to get it. Head to the website. If it's sold out, click to be notified immediately so that you're the first to find out so you can buy it before it yet sells out again. GO2 Max, great for endurance and cardio to help you do more calorie burning exercise than last time. And so with the combo GO2 Max and Turk Max, you will be getting greater gains than last time. And remember, you have to start somewhere. That's me at 18. 8 years of training in the pink Speedo posing trunks, hitting the front double bicep, not knowing how to pose, holding the arms up, not flexing the abs. Now, the quads, they appear to be well formed. You can see the definition, but I'm 147 pounds. Not the biggest guy. I don't have a proper tan, but you can see this is what I had to work with. This is 8 years in the making, 8 years of training. And so I continued to improve. I was doing triathlons, enjoying swimming, biking, running, playing sports, eventually became a physical education teacher, did that for 11 years, and I haven't stopped to this day. It's all about loving what you do. I love to exercise. I love going to the gym. I love lifting weights. I also love doing cardio. You can do both. Sam Sulek, he also loves the gym. He also loves doing cardio. He does them both. He promotes them both. And so please, if you're not already subscribed already, go and follow Sam Sulek. Interested in any of the Harder Than Last Time supplements, the Kaiko bars, the pre-workouts, the Turk Max straight from Uzbekistan, get to the website, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops. And of course, don't forget about the cookbook 3.1, delicious recipes, amazing. My life's work, how to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life. The Circle diet book, as well as several training books. And if you have no money, you get the free diet and training program. Remember, it's free, giving away over 110,000. And guess what? Myself, Eric Janicki, and Hussein Farhat were working on an app. We're going to make sure the coloring on the app is proper so that you can clearly read it, and it'll be more effective than last time. Going to give you your body fat percentage, going to tell you everything you need to know. Look for that in the near future. And until next time, I am out.